welcome to another How Stephen Does It. All right, so first thing you want to do when you get the meat out is after you take it out of the plastic, I wash it down, but probably the most important thing is on the back side. There is a really thin piece of fascia that you need to remove. And the reason why you remove this, you just kind of start on one end and then pull it off. See how that pulls off? This allows the smoke to penetrate, and you can just discard that. This allows the smoke to penetrate the rib meat. So let me get that done, and then we'll do the rub for it. Okay, I've got that fascia on the back side peeled off, and now we're going to rub it. And I'll show you a picture of the rubs that I use, and I put some salt and pepper in there too, and I just kind of mix it up. I don't really have a measure how much I use. I just look and see what looks good to me. But what I'll do is I'll start on the back side and then just rub that in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this, cover it with tin foil, and then let it sit overnight in an outside refrigerator somewhere if you have room in your main refrigerator. But everybody should have 2 refrigerators, one in the garage and one in the house. And the top, just kind of rub that in. Let's grab a little bit more. Rub that in really good. Okay, we're going to let that sit overnight, and in the morning I'll show you how to put it on the fire. All right. Okay, we're back. I just pulled these out of the outside refrigerator. They've been sitting all night. And so there you have that. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to take some big sheets of tin foil and make like a little vessel that we're going to put these ribs in. And then this is what the ribs are going to sit in on the grill. So you kind of make like a little pan, whatever you want to call it, just to keep everything in. Pretty easy to do. There you go. Have like a little bowl pan. So we're going to take those ribs. Hopefully they'll fit in there this year. Yep. So there you go. There's one. And then there's the second one. We're going to have to adjust this pan. The reason why we make a little pan like this is that the smoke's going to get to it. And we'll put a loose piece of tin foil on top of it. But what we're going to do is take some apple juice. And this is regular old apple juice. And you pour that on the side, and this is what it's going to sit in. While it's on the grill for 6 hours. You just want to do it so it just covers the bottom. Enough to where it's really just sitting in there. So about a half of a bottle of the apple juice. And then take your, what I do instead of just sitting the grill on the tinfoil on the grill, I'll use that pan that was sitting in the marinade and set it in that pan. Lost a little bit of that apple juice, so okay, so now that is ready for the grill. And I'll go ahead and get the fire started and show you how to do that fire. Okay, here we are outside at the grill, and I totally recommend you buying a real charcoal grill. I use a Weber. You just cannot get good food with a gas grill. I know there's a lot of people that are gas grill people, but to me it dries out the food, and it's just a cheap, easy way to think that you're barbecuing. So recommend getting a real grill. Use real charcoal that lets you use real wood. And what I do is you can just use a little bit of charcoal like that. And then what you're going to do is I just buy hickory, and then I split it into small pieces like this, and then kind of spread the coals around, and then just set that wood up on top. You want everything to the side because you're going to put your ribs on this side. So we'll kind of let those pieces of wood start, and then I set the top on, and I use a pair of pliers to get that off and on, because you're going to have to add more wood to it later. And I just set the whole pan on there, just like that. And then kind of loosely cover it. Close the lid. Close the vent, because you want that fire to go out. So all you're doing is smoking. And you want to buy a grill that has a temperature indicator on it, and over the 6 hours you're going to want to watch that to make sure it stays right around 225, 250. And then to keep that temperature right around there, you're just going to have to open and close the vents. There's one on the bottom too for that airflow. So you just monitor it, monitor the temperature, make sure it's in that range, and probably about another 3 hours I'll flip the meat and then wait another hour and then flip it again. But I'll show you how that goes later. All right, see you in about 4 hours. This is the kind of smoke that you cannot get with a gas grill. You cannot get that kind of smoke with a gas grill. So buy yourself a real Weber. Okay, this is after about 3 hours. I'm going to flip them. You can see that apple juice is keeping everything moist, not letting it dry out. Go ahead and flip those. We'll go ahead and close that lid. I put some more wood on there, and we'll be back in a little bit. Let's keep it smoking. Keep it going. Okay, we flipped them again. Gonna let them smoke for a little bit more longer, probably another 45 minutes. And then we'll take them out of the pan and put it directly on the grill and let it smoke on the grill by itself for a while without the pan. So be back in a little bit. Okay, now we're going to take those ribs and put them directly on the grill. Still to the side of the heat. It's going to temporarily put it on that side. And then get this pan out of the way. See, that wood's still going to heat up pretty good, but you're going to put the meat way on this other side of it. So it's not directly underneath the fire. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Let that smoke get some direct smoke to it. Close everything up. And maybe about another 10 minutes. You can see we're getting some good smoke action now. So we're going to let that go for about 15 minutes. And then we'll put some sauce on it. Okay, now we're going for the sauce. What I do is I make my own sauce of a couple of different things. I use this regular barbecue sauce, but I put A1 sauce, mustard, a little ginger, brown sugar, Worcestershire, just whatever you feel like you want to do. A little hot sauce. But I'm going to start by putting the sauce on the back of the ribs first. So I'm going to flip those ribs over. And then just apply a good coating back of the ribs. We're going to close it up and let that smoke on that and caramelize. And maybe about 10 minutes. And we'll flip them over and put some sauce on the other side. Okay, now we're going to flip those over. And we're going to do the other side. Top side, or whatever you want to call it. Put a little sauce on that. And you kind of want to let your heat get a little bit higher. Now, you'll still smoke, but you want that sauce to caramelize because the meat's already cooked at this point. Just kind of finishing them up. All right, so I'm gonna let that go now. About another 10 and 15 minutes. Okay, these are ready to come off. I'll get them inside and do some final thoughts and serve them up. All right, see you. Okay, here we are inside, and after about 6 or 7 hours going through the process of this is what you kind of end up with, and they're really good and tender, fall off the bone ribs. So glad you were here to watch this video, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one for How Stephen Does It.